Episode of The Breakdown. I'm Mike.
And I'm on. Daniel Jones? Are you serious right now? They drafted Daniel Jones with 6 picks.
Damian Lillard is a top 5 player in the NBA right now. So The Breakdown, I'm Mike.
And I'm Austin. We want to thank everybody for tuning into this week's episode of The Breakdown. We have a great action-packed show planned for you today, and hopefully you'll enjoy and we'll be able to get to all the topics that we have to cover.
Absolutely.
So starting off, NBA Finals this past week, games 1 and 2 were played. Very exciting games. Toronto taking game 1 in Toronto. Golden State coming back and taking game 2. Obviously, game 3 and 4 big important games in their series, and probably really huge for Toronto to try to steal home court advantage back. So I kind of want to ask you, Mike, for the Toronto to win game 3, what do you think they need to do?
I think they need to play like how they played in game 1, and I know that sounds obvious, but you saw the supporting cast in game 1 was a lot better than it was in game 2. Because game 2, you had some bright spots like VanVleet. He played well. Kawhi actually played really well compared to how he played in game 1, but Spicy P was just a monster game 1. Where were you at game 2, man? And then I felt the defense was good, but it could have been a little better, I felt. And and another thing going over, you're saying that what's the key for game 3 is they just announced today that KD's out. And what was I saying last week? You have to win game 1 in Golden State, especially if KD's not playing. Well, guess what? KD's not playing. And guess what? I got even more good news for you. Clay's not going to be 100%. Do I think he's going to play? I have a feeling he's going to play. I know it's a hamstring strain. If it was a regular season, he wouldn't be playing. But this is the finals. He's going to be playing. So they have to take advantage in game 3, I feel like. Everybody needs to Spicy P, Kawhi, especially Kawhi. Dude, be the leader that you're supposed to be for this team. And Kyle Lowry really has been semi-disappointed in this finals. He hasn't been bad. We've seen some bad performances from Kyle Lowry. So he's been all right. Marc Gasol was another one. Played really well in game 1. Wasn't really there much of a factor in game 2. So I feel the supporting cast needs to just play like they did in game 1.
Well, I think you made some good points there. Definitely, game 1 was a big game for Toronto. Golden State had, a lot of people forget, they had a week and a half off coming off the Western Conference Finals, and it's not just that they're rusty. You don't play that long; it's hard to get back into basketball shape. Toronto just came off of Game 7, in their Eastern Conference. Not Game 7, Game 6 in their Eastern Conference. They played a little longer with Milwaukee. So, look, I think for that, the reason why that happened was, look, Toronto just came in and they punched Golden State in the mouth. They hit them in the mouth. They took the fight to them. And Golden State is one of those teams, that's what you have to do. You have to beat them to the punch, because if you just sit back and wait for them to beat themselves, it's not going to happen. They're the best team in the league. They're the most talent. They've been to 4 NBA Finals. No, 5 is their 5th NBA Finals. So they've won championships. They have guys that have been there, done that, veterans. So you have to take the fight to them. In Game 2, I found that Golden State responded and took the fight more to Toronto.
Especially to start the second half.
20-0
run to start that half. You're Toronto. How do you let that happen at home?
I think it's easy.
I understand the 20 part, but the 0 part?
No, the 0 part's a problem. But it's easy to get behind a Golden State. They shoot a lot of 3-pointers. They get hot. Steph Curry gets going. Klay Thompson gets going. Then with KD's in the game, he gets going. If Draymond Green's in the 3-ball, you're going to lose. So
you're going to lose most games.
So, and then you have DeMarcus Cousins also on this team. He was a big role in game 2.
I feel he was honestly Steph's NBA is Klay. I feel DeMarcus Cousins was the MVP of that game.
He definitely was.
The rebound,
he was the X factor.
He was the X factor. He was huge.
Yeah, he was definitely the X factor. Look, I think with your point is, their role players need to step up for Toronto in Game 3. But I think, look, you're fine. It's a long series. No reason to hit the panic button. Just a long series. You got to win one in Golden State. That's okay. I don't think in the NBA Finals home court advantage is that big a deal. That's just my opinion, because I think when it comes down to it, you're playing basketball. Each game should go either way. When you have teams in the NBA Finals that are evenly matched, each game is going to come down to the wire. If you make enough plays at the end of the game and you make more hustle plays, more 50-50 balls, just something that can be the difference, you're going to win the game. So you're fine. Toronto's fine. Don't panic, Toronto fans. I think they're gonna win one of the games in Golden State. I think they'll win Game 3 or Game 4, and I think it's gonna be a very long series, and I look forward to seeing how each team makes adjustments going forward.
Yeah, definitely Toronto's proven. Like, and I know we talked about this last week, how a lot of people really weren't giving Toronto enough credit. They were basically like, oh yeah, Warriors are going to sweep and win in 5. Now people are like, man, when Toronto won Game 1 and they battled in Game 2, like, man, Raptors are actually not that bad. And like you said, I feel it's going to be a long series. It's either going to go 6 or 7.
I definitely going to go 6 or 7. Look. I think for Toronto, I think a factor in Game 2 was another factor I want to say is, I felt like they didn't use their bench enough, man. Only 3 guys on their bench played. Norman Powell played a really good game. He only played 21 minutes, but he was plus 13 in the plus minus category.
Very underrated category.
Yeah, so that's a huge category. I mean, that's what I look for when I look at these games, and if they're lopsided or stuff like that, I look at see plus minus. And who was winning while they were on the floor. So you look at him, he's plus 13. Their bench was plus 3, and then plus 13, the 3 guys that played. Van Vliet played a lot of minutes, but I'd like to see them extend that bench. Maybe get Patrick McCaw some minutes. You got Jeremy Linson on the bench. You got some other guys that could give you good minutes. And hopefully OG Anunoby can come back in this series, and he would add some bench depth for them as well. But look at Golden State; they kept their starters fresh. Their starters were huge for them. Plus 12, plus 13. That's how their starters were. If you look at their starters on the plus minus rating, and then you look at their bench, they played 6 guys on the bench, so they kept those starters fresh. And their bench guys didn't play a lot of minutes individually, but if you give your starters, 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there, that's huge when it comes to, sustaining a good performance for 7 games, especially in NBA Finals. So I think it's for Toronto to win one of these games and really to win the series. They have to use their bench, but they have the better bench. They need to use it more, and I think if they do that, they're going to be just fine.
I feel another big injury that happened is Kevin Looney being out for the series with a broken collarbone. I don't think people realize how big of a loss that actually is. He's been huge for them down the stretch. And another thing is, guys like him, they do the little stuff right. So they're the guys you really don't know. Like, he's the screener. Like, he's the guy that's going to go for the rebound, hard for the like. DeMarcus Cousins is a star player, but he's not one of those guys that hey, let's run a pick and roll.
Well, here, are you saying that though? In this series, he has been that guy. DeMarcus Cousins hasn't really been the star. He's not out there trying to get his shots. He's out there doing the dirty work. He's out there making these passes, getting other guys involved. I think DeMarcus Cousins has accepted his role in this series right now.
Why?
Well, that's exactly what it is, and he ain't worried about anything else but that ring right now. That's why he joined the Golden State Warriors. So he better buy in, or he won't be there next year. I mean,
and he won't get that ring.
Yeah, he won't get the ring. So, but I think he's doing. I think he can replace Kevon Looney, what he brings.
Oh no! Without a doubt. DeMarcus Cousins from a starting standpoint is an upgrade. But you were talking about the bench. I think it definitely hurts the bench when you put in that.
I think you'll see David Jones play a little more on that.
Andrew Bogut. Don't forget about Andrew Bogut.
Too,
Veterans, been there, has rings. I think you're going to see some more minutes coming from him.
Yeah.
But a huge topic that I want to talk about, and I'm kind of upset because I thought about this early in the week, and then all of a sudden today it got brought to light. And you're my witness that I was talking about this earlier.
We were talking about this last week.
Last week, and all of a sudden it's it gets brought to light to national media. And my question to you is, if the Lakers don't get a star to go with LeBron, does LeBron demand trade, or do the Lakers just trade him anyway?
Dude, it's funny because I've been thinking about this all week. Because honestly, when you asked me this, after we did our show last week, we were talking about this, through text message and stuff like that. I really didn't know. I didn't know how to answer that question. I didn't really know, but I did a lot of thought on it. And look, man, LeBron, he went to LA for more than just basketball. And I know he said that. He said that when he announced, he's like, I came here. This was a basketball decision and this and that. Come on now. He's there because of Hollywood. He's there because of Los Angeles. He's there because he has a TV production company coming up. He's there because his family wants to be in LA. I think that part of him will want to ask for a trade, but when I started thinking about it, who are some teams that could trade for LeBron? I mean, the guy's going to be 35 years old.
He's LeBron. I mean, what's the
that's what I'm saying. From the Lakers standpoint, he's LeBron, so you're going to want a package that's representative of who he is, what his career has been. But at the same time, if you're an opposing team in the league, you're thinking, man, why would I give up young assets? Why would I give up potential all-stars to go get a guy like LeBron when he's only going to be a rental for a couple years? You know what I'm saying? So I think from his standpoint, I don't think he would request a trade. And that's the question. I'm going to answer that. I do not think he would request a trade because I think being in LA is more than just basketball. I think his family loves LA. I think it's important for his future businesses outside of basketball. I think it would suck that he can't win championships in LA, but I think he's got a 4-year contract. I think he'll finish his contract, and if he has enough playing left after that contract is up, I think then he'll go and see where he can win a championship. But I think
another thing that people forget is that before he got hurt there in was it December, January, the Lakers were the 4 seed in the West.
That's an excellent point.
They were a good team. Now let's be real. I mean, a lot of that was LeBron. We all know. It's the LeBron factor.
But you got those young guys. You get those young guys another year to develop. You never know.
If you look at from young guys, but they're only going to get better, right? That's what you would hope,
right? And then you saw today that Lionel Hollins, the former Memphis coach, he is going to join their staff.
From a coaching standpoint,
they have the best staff I think they have the best staff in the league
overall.
They have 3 head coaches on their staff.
Yeah, Frank Vogel, Jason Kidd,
and then Lionel Hollins.
From a coach standpoint, that's really. And then I know LeBron was really trying to recruit Tom Thibodeau to be some form of.
If you add him,
oh my goodness.
So,
but see, that's a tough situation. Like we were saying, if I'm a team, I don't want to give up my entire future for a guy that I might get maybe 2-3 years of great basketball left out of him. Now LeBron has built himself to where he's gonna be good. If he wanted to, he'd be good for a while. He's one of those guys that honestly he could play to 40, and at the age of 40, I truly believe he'd find a way to get 18 points a game.
I think that's fair. That's a fair statement.
The way he's building himself, taking care of himself. I'm not crazy gonna say at 40 he's gonna average 30 points a game, but 18 he could be a 6-man. But as you've seen in the past, most guys when they get to that point they don't want that. They just call it. But that's what. If I'm like you said, I agree with him. Okay. I don't think he'll demand a trade. But honestly, if you realize, look, we're not getting anybody, I think it's in your best interest to trade LeBron.
I think it's in the Lakers' best interest.
That's what I'm saying.
I definitely agree with you. I think it's definitely in the Lakers' best interest because, look, if you're not getting a star, you need to. Look,
it's their fault.
I don't say trade him definitely we have to trade him, but you would definitely have to see what the waters, test the waters and see what the offers are,
right?
Because. Look, this is a huge deal for the Lakers. If they do not land a star this offseason, the fan base is going to revolt against them. It's going to be.
They already hate them enough.
And look, I think the way the organization is set up right now, I think the Lakers have to get a star through a trade. And I think the only guy that's out there right now is Anthony Davis. They have a bunch of free agents this year, but would you want to sign there as a free agent? Would you want to go to Los Angeles?
With all the stuff that's been going on, no. That's why I agree with you when you say they basically have to get a trade. Because literally the front office is the reason we're even having this discussion about trading LeBron. Before all this came out with Magic, Rob Pelinka, we were thinking who are the Lakers going to get this offseason? That's what everybody was thinking. And then the Magic, steps down. And then all this about Rob Pelinka being just a freaking terrible guy comes out. And Jeannie Buss is I think she's even starting to realize oh my gosh, I'll let my dad's franchise go to crap.
Dude, I think if Jim Buss was still alive,
this would never happen.
This would have never happened.
Rob Pelinka wouldn't be
and it would be a lock to get one of the top free agents. They wouldn't even be talking about.
Oh my, yes, absolutely. There would be no discussion. No. The only discussion would be who is it?
Right.
All the stars would be which one are they going to get?
And the discussion would be I wonder if Kyrie would take the mid-level exception to come play. That's what it would be.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Dude, but I think they have the most pressure. If you look at, I know it came out today that the Pelicans are starting to listen to offers on Anthony Davis, which is no surprise at all.
I think
so I feel like we don't really need to talk about that. There's no surprise, but look, I think of all the teams that can make offers, there's teams out there. There's been a lot of teams discussed today. The Knicks, the Nets, Celtics. They might still be in there. Maybe a team like Toronto if they win the championship. But look, out of all those teams, the Lakers have the most pressure to get a deal done. They have to get Anthony Davis, in my opinion, because if they don't, I just don't see a free agent wanting to go there. Kyrie's already leaning towards. There's been reports saying he's going to Brooklyn. You know what I'm saying? So
Stephen A. Smith came out and said that he's I've heard strong reports that he's going to Brooklyn.
Exactly. So I don't think you could take a chance and miss out on Anthony Davis and then strike out in free agency. I don't think if you're the Lakers you can take that chance. I think you have got to go hard and go after Anthony Davis, and if you do not get him, it will be disastrous for their franchise.
So I'll say this: if the only guy you get, I mean this in all respect to him, but I'm saying this from a LeBron and Lakers standpoint. If the only guy you get is Chris Middleton, and frankly, that's a unsuccessful.
No, that's a waste of money.
Season.
It's a waste of money.
Yes, so I agree. They need to find a way to trade for a star. They are lucky that their pick turned into the 4th pick.
Oh, they get
because now it increases so much leverage for trade standpoint.
From my look, I'm a Pelicans fan. Okay, everybody knows that. So from my standpoint, I'm looking at it as what can the Lakers offer me for Anthony Davis. So with that 4th pick, that basically equals out the Brandon Ingram injury. Because before the 4th pick, the Lakers, I'm like, I don't take anything the Lakers have because of the Ingram injury. But because they get the 4th pick, now that opens the door for you have like DeAndre Hunter possibly, you have Jarrett Culver possibly, Darius Garland possibly, and then you never know. I heard the Knicks might be kind of jumping off the RJ Barrett train a little bit. So if they
they might take the Hawks off for
exactly
10 and Tareem
exactly. So
was shocking to me as a Hawks fan. I was like. I mean, we're the Knicks, like, dude, that's just your typical Knicks, though. Typical Knicks.
Well, I think if they do that, they're trying to get picks to acquire Anthony Davis, but that's a discussion closer to the draft, I think, what they do with that pick. But look, I don't see LeBron ever being traded to a team just because there's only 2 scenarios I see him being traded. One is a star for a star, and the only star right now that wants to trade is Anthony Davis. And by the time the Lakers strike out in free agency and realize they need to trade LeBron James, Anthony Davis is going to be gone from the Pelicans. So that's out. And then the other situation I can see is if a contender needs LeBron James to take him to the next level, but at that point, you have to give a lot for him. And do you have the pieces to give up in order to make that deal?
And still be good.
So that's why I don't ever see LeBron ever can be traded from the Lakers because number one, the Lakers would want a LeBron type package. And number 2, the team that's trading for LeBron won't be willing to give up that money. I mean, that money and that, those prospects, those young guys for a guy that's 35 years old.
And like I said, you're only going to get maybe 2-3 years of
exactly.
basketball.
So, look, I just don't see. That was a great discussion, man. It'll be interesting to see.
This offseason was very vital for the Lakers.
Yes.
It was super. I'm actually right. I haven't been this ready for an NBA offseason in a while.
Oh, this is probably the most exciting NBA offseason in NBA history. It's definitely going to be fun. I'm going to have my popcorn out. I'm going to sofa, looking for the Woods bombs to come out, refresh, tweet something, man. I'm going to be ready, man. It's going to be great, and I hope everybody else enjoys it too.
Yeah, but speaking of popcorn, there's one guy that every time he steps foot on the baseball field,
I know exactly who you're talking about.
And that is, for anybody that doesn't know, this dude's been raking, and that is the 3rd baseman prospect for the Atlanta Braves, Austin Riley. All right, just for anybody, you want to hear some stats? I'm just going to go. He's only played 18 career MLB games. He has 9 home runs, 25 RBIs. Ever since he's been called up, he leads the league in home runs and RBIs. And he's top 7 in batting average. He's batting .330 on the year.
Yeah.
The dude is. Every time I watch a Braves game, I'm expecting the guy to hit a home run. That's how good he's been.
I'm the same way. We're both Braves fans. We let everybody know we both like the Atlanta Braves. But you're wearing a jersey.
It's not little. I just told you the stats.
But look, this kid is a phenom. Okay, and look, if you don't believe us, go look him up. The kid's a freaking monster.
Go look at his home runs.
Go look at his home run stats.
They're not barely over the wall.
No, he's definitely a stud. But
look, 22 years old too.
Here's the thing with this. The Atlanta Braves have so many young guys, and you really didn't know about this kid. You really didn't know about him until this year. We kind of knew about him because we're fans, but a lot of people on the national market
talks for the JT Realmuto trade. That's all how really people knew him. Nobody expected him to be this.
Right, exactly. Nobody expected what he's doing. This dude, and he needs to get he hasn't gotten enough national attention, in my opinion. I think you're going to see Austin Riley, his name really going to the forefront of the talks for being, one of the top players in all of baseball coming here soon. The kid is just on a tear, and look, if he
legit power.
Yeah, he has legit power. He's a great player, and I look forward to seeing him play for the rest of his career.
Definitely could for Rookie of the Year.
Oh, absolutely.
And Soroka for the Braves as well.
Yeah, probably. They have a lot of young guys.
So as you just heard, that was a 2-1. So let's move on to our fan question for the week. That's actually a baseball question. And it comes from Brittany. It's who's the best player in baseball right now?
Austin Riley. I'm just messing with you, man. I'm just messing with you. Look, as of right now, his stats are really good. But look, I think realistically, if you're looking at the best player in baseball, Mike Trout's got to be in the conversation. Nolan Arenado's got to be in the conversation. For me, the best player right now is Christian Yelich from the Milwaukee Brewers. I think what he has done since he's gone to the Brewers is taken their franchise to the next level. I think what he has done for their franchise more than just playing baseball, just giving them a fan base and excitement, get them excited about Brewers baseball.
MVP last year.
He was MVP last year. So I think right now he's the best player in baseball. He's a great defender. He has speed. He hits for power. He's a great average player. I remember a long time ago when he was with the Marlins, and they were considering trading him.
He was just an average guy.
Right,
There was no power. I mean, all right, he had like 15, the 20 range.
But I remember the trade packages for him were really not like teams weren't giving up a lot for him. They didn't value him as much as what he is right now.
So regret that.
They definitely regret
The
that.
Marlins were like, man, if we would have just waited one more year, we would have an MVP guy already.
Right.
But nobody. I mean, just look at him. You look at the guy. He's one of those dudes. He's not built to be a power guy, but he's such a perfect swing, and that's why he's so good.
He's a skilled player.
He's a great skill guy, and for me, like that's a great one. Like he's in my mind, he's top 3 in baseball right now. But for me, and over the last year, I'm surprised this dude doesn't have an MVP award. It's Nolan Arenado, and like I said, no offense to Mike Trout. Mike Trout's great. People are probably shocked that it's Nolan Arenado is the most least talked about star player in all. The dude's hit 40 home runs 2 times in the last 3 years. Has over 130 RBIs 3 times in his career, but he plays in Colorado.
Yeah.
And has won MVP. Definitely
He was one of my guys too. But look, as you heard, that was our buzzer. We want to thank everybody again for tuning into this week's episode. We'll be coming out with more episodes next week and the following weeks, and we hope you enjoy our show.
All right, see y'all next week.
Thank you.